Okay, so we've got this article, right? Key considerations for successful corporate relocation. And it really got me thinking. It's not just about finding a bigger office, is it? There's like a lot more to it.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you see the announcement, the big move, but underneath, so much going on, like an iceberg, really.
Right, exactly. And this article, it's like our map, our guide through all those hidden decisions. So whether you're the CEO or maybe you're worried about your company moving or even just curious about this stuff, there's something here for you.
Totally. And one of the first things that jumped out, at least for me, was the financial side. It's easy to think, oh, moving costs, that's it. But it's way more than that.
Yeah, I'm picturing like a budget line for new staplers, not realizing there's this whole strategic financial game going on.
Exactly. They really hammer home this whole deep cost-benefit analysis. And it's not even just, can we afford the move? It's, will the new place actually give us advantages that make it worth leaving what we have?
So it's like, yeah, moving to New York City might be expensive, but you're in New York City, so there's that trade-off.
Right. And then there's taxes. This is where it gets wild. Different states, they've got totally different incentives for businesses, apparently.
Right away. I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Like some states, they practically roll out the red carpet with these huge tax breaks if you create jobs. Others, it's all about if you're doing research and development.
So it's like companies are treasure hunting for the best tax deals.
Exactly. Oh, and there's more. Government grants, they mentioned. Like if you move to an area that needs a boost, you might get money for that. Or even like training programs for your employees, subsidized by the state. It's crazy, the stuff most people wouldn't even know to ask about.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this is so complicated. It's like chess, but with money. But let's move past the dollars and cents for a sec. The article also talks about infrastructure. And I'm guessing that's more than just making sure the lights work.
You got it. It goes way deeper than a functioning office. Imagine you're not picking an office, you're picking a whole neighborhood to live in. You'd think about the commute, the schools, all that. Businesses, they need to do the same, just bigger scale.
So what kind of things are we talking about here? What makes for good infrastructure?
They break it down into three main areas. First up, the physical stuff. The building itself, is it falling apart? But then also transportation. Can people even get there?
Yeah.
And don't even get me started on internet.
Because a business without good internet these days is.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Exactly. Then there's the tech infrastructure. And this isn't just having the latest gadgets, it's bigger. Data security, can you even find good tech people in this new city, that kind of thing. The article really stressed how this is only getting more important, especially for companies on the cutting edge.
It's like you can have the best ingredients, but if your kitchen's got no oven, you're not cooking anything.
Exactly. And finally, and this is a big one they often miss, health and safety stuff.
So we're not just talking fire extinguishers here.
Yeah. Nope. Think bigger. Good hospitals nearby for your employees. Is the workplace itself designed well so people don't get hurt? Even the neighborhood, is it safe?
So it's like the article saying, don't just think about where they work, think about where they live.
Exactly. These things seem small, but they add up. Happy, healthy employees, they work better. It all ties into the success of the move.
Okay, so transportation. Way more to it than I thought. What about suppliers, distributors, that whole thing? That's got to be huge too, right?
Oh, for sure. The article had this example, right? Imagine like a furniture company. They move all their manufacturing overseas, cheaper, right? But then the fabric they use, suddenly it's hit with import delays. Their whole production line is messed up.
Ouch. Yeah, not the kind of surprise you want. So being close to your suppliers, that's got to be key.
Huge. But it's not just being close. It's knowing they can actually handle you. Like, what if your business takes off in this new city? Can they keep up? Are they reliable? Always on time with deliveries? That kind of thing makes or breaks you.
It's like you can have the best bakery, but if your flour guy suddenly can't deliver, you're not baking much.
Exactly. And then there's warehousing, of course. If you've got actual stuff to store, finding the right place in your new city, that's another puzzle piece.
I'm guessing it's not as easy as just like opening Yelp and picking one, right?
Not quite. Size matters, obviously, but also where is it? Security? They even mention climate control. Like, what if you're storing stuff that needs to stay cold? It all adds up, these little details.
It's like finding the perfect storage unit for your business, but way more intense. But okay, let's shift gears for a sec. What about the business environment itself? I mean, it seems obvious, but Why go through all this hassle if the new city isn't even a good fit for your business?
It's a good point. In the article, they stress this too. Market research, gotta do it. Just because something's selling well where you are now doesn't mean it'll fly in the new place.
Right, like selling winter coats in Florida.
Yeah.
Probably not your best market.
Exactly. So they're talking about, are there even enough customers for you in this new city? What are their buying habits? Is it super competitive already, or are you getting in early?
So it's kind of like you wouldn't open a burger joint right next to another burger joint, right? Yeah. You gotta know what you're walking into.
Exactly. And then there's the overall economy of the place, right? Is it booming or about to go bust? That changes everything.
Like checking the weather before a hike. Don't want to get caught in a storm unprepared.
Good one. And speaking of being prepared, the article, it didn't just focus on the company. They got into how this affects employees, too, which often gets overlooked.
So true. I mean, a company is only as good as its people, right?
Yeah.
So what are we talking employee-wise when thinking about a move?
A few things they highlighted. Big one. Can you even find good people in this new city? Like, say you're a tech company, you move to some small town because it's cheaper. But if there's no programmers there, problem.
Right, like trying to build a house with no carpenters. You got the wood, but
Yeah.
good luck with the rest.
Perfect analogy. And it's not just new hires, it's keeping the ones you got. Moving's stressful, especially if they got families, whole lives built up. Companies got to make it worth their while.
Yeah. Hey, move across the country for us. Got to sweeten the deal a bit.
Exactly. Relocation packages, help with finding houses, schools, even stuff for the spouse to find work. It all matters.
Sounds like they're saying treat your employees like people, not just worker bees.
For sure. Oh, and don't forget the legal stuff. Different states, different rules, especially when it comes to labor laws.
Oh, right, of course. Minimum wage here, no minimum wage there. Easy to miss.
And costly. The article gave an example, right? Company moves from a state, no minimum wage, to one where it's way higher. If they didn't plan for that extra cost, yikes.
Man, so much to think about. I'm realizing this isn't just about moving offices. It's about making smart choices that are good for the company and the people.
Exactly. And that's what makes this article so helpful. I think it lays it all out.
The ultimate moving checklist, whether you're the boss or just along for the ride.
Totally. And it really hit home for me that there's no one right answer. Every company, every move, it's different. It's about finding what works for your situation.
Well said. Okay, so we've talked money, we've talked logistics, even the legal stuff. But there's one more thing, and it's a big one. Quality of life. So quality of life, right? After the moving trucks are gone. What's the article say about that?
Well, they really emphasize this idea that you got to look beyond just the office, the new city, the whole area. Is it even a good place for people to live? And that includes things like, can your employees afford to live there? Housing costs, especially. Because if they're like struggling to pay rent, that's stress. It follows them to work.
It's true. You can't just compartmentalize like that.
Yeah.
And I imagine it's more than just being able to afford an apartment, right? People want a life outside work, things to do, feel safe.
Exactly. They even had this example, right? The company moves to a big city, sounds glamorous, but employees hated it. Couldn't afford to do anything, not very family friendly.
So it's like you can have the fancy hotel room, but if there's no view, no amenities, maybe the cozy bed and breakfast was better, even if it's smaller.
Exactly. And the article, they were big on this healthcare schools, especially for people with kids. You can offer amazing benefits at the office, but if the local school's terrible, that's a deal breaker for a lot of families.
It's about that balance, right?
Yeah.
Company wins, employees win. Got to find that sweet spot.
For sure. Oh, and this one surprised me. They even talked about the environment, like the actual climate, pollution, all that.
Really? I wouldn't have thought of that, but
Yeah.
it makes sense. Climate change is huge, and if you're moving somewhere where there's wildfires every year, the air's bad, that affects people.
Totally. And not just the bad stuff, even just are there parks, green spaces? That stuff matters for your mental health, your physical health, which then, affects your work. It's all connected.
Man, this whole conversation has been eye-opening. Corporate relocation, it's way more than just boxes and moving vans.
Right. And I think that's why this article is so useful. It gives you the whole picture, all these different angles you got to think about.
The ultimate checklist, whether you're the one making the decisions or the one hoping they don't get stuck moving to, I don't know, Siberia or something.
Exactly. And if there's one thing to take away, it's that. There's no one right answer. Every move, it depends on the company, the people, the industry. It's about being informed, then you can make the best call.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, this has been fascinating. Really appreciate you breaking it all down with us.
My pleasure. Always happy to dive deep. Get in touch with Allies Commercial Realty at info@alliescommercialrealty.com to find your ally in commercial real estate.